Let's run the option and give you our picks for the week.
The option is back, and you can play along with us. Go to our Instagram at Fade Route Podcast. Click that link in bio. Find our CBS Sports Pick'em League and join us today. Come and take a poke at the chin. But are you ready for some football, D?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Thursday night, your season opener from Arrowhead. The Lions at the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. It's a big game for them. They're
Oh.
healthy. We don't know about Travis Kelce, no Chris Jones. I think the Lions will win the opening game of this season.
Wow. Okay. How about them Chiefs? High-scoring affair, narrowly won by Mahomes and company.
Need some last-minute fantasy football advice? Then the boys at the Fade Route have you covered. Tune in every NFL Sunday to Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. D and I give you our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts, or green light, and fantasy sits, or red light. That's Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 every NFL Sunday during the season. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get the Fade Route. That's Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. Every NFL Sunday during the season.
Sunday. Settle in on that couch, get your popcorn ready, because we have some big ones for you. 1 o'clock, the Panthers at the Falcons.
I'm taking the Falcons here, and it's not just because Desmond Ridder is my fantasy quarterback. I just, I think it's going to be a rough start for Bryce Young, and I think Atlanta has a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball.
I'm in agreement with you on the Falcons, but I think it's the Atlanta defense that's going to make it happen. Calais Campbell is going to be living in that backfield. He's going to get to know Bryce Young intimately. And I don't think that the Panthers have enough just yet. The Texans go into Baltimore to take on the Ravens.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day for Stroud, so I'm going to take Baltimore.
Again, we are in agreement. This is very difficult to spin any other way. The Texans are not there yet, and the Ravens have Super Bowl aspirations. This is going to be a whooping. This is going to be an absolute whooping by the Ravens. Bengals at Browns.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's my MVP, so I'm taking Joe Burrow.
We are in agreement again. Browns are going to brown. It's a question of when, not if. And Joe Burrow is going to torch that defense. Jaguars at Colts.
Yeah, I really like Jacksonville this year. We talked about it earlier. They're my dark horse. I think Anthony Richards is going to turn the ball over a couple of times. It's going to take him some time to get good in that system, but I'm taking Jacksonville.
Rookie quarterback, no Jonathan Taylor, no shots. Jaguars take this one easily. The Bucks go into Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
Yeah, I've got an upset here. I think the Bucks win. I don't like the moves that Minnesota did in the offseason. They have a lot of offensive firepower, but I'm not really sure about them defensively. And don't sleep on the Bucks. They've got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. So the Bucks.
I'm going with the Vikings, not by much. They don't thrill me by any stretch of the imagination. The Bucks have Baker Mayfield. The Vikings do not. That's really what it's boiling down to. Jefferson's going to have his Jefferson game. And don't look now. Alexander Madison's probably going to be better than we think he is. I'm going to go with the Vikings narrowly. The Titans go into the Big Easy to take on the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints are my pick to make it to the title game. I think they get off to a really good start. I think they have a lot of offensive weapons, and their coach knows defense, and they have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm taking NOLA.
It's going to be tough, but I'm going with the Saints as well. Derrick Henry's not going to make it easy on them. But at the end of the day, Ryan Tannehill, still their quarterback, or Malik Willis, or Will Levis. Doesn't matter who it is, right? You can Jonathan Gannon this shit, and it's not going to matter. You have no quarterback in Tennessee. The Saints are going to roll. The Saints are going to march in and march out with a W. The Niners come east to take on the Steelers.
I got another upset here. I got Pittsburgh. I think, it's tough to go from West Coast to East Coast. Nick Bosa, he's just freshly inked. So I think Brock Purdy struggles. Pittsburgh defense is not fucking around, man. They're not fucking around. I got Pittsburgh.
This is going to be closer than people think it is. It's tempting to pick an upset, but I'm going to go with the Niners. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be the star of the show. Brock Purdy is not going to have to do nearly as much as people think he's going to have to do. McCaffrey is going to be the Swiss Army knife that they intended him to be. The Cardinals take on the Commanders.
Yeah, so if there's any game that Arizona can win, it's this one, right? I mean, this is you kind of surprise them, this whole Wizard of Oz thing where he's not letting people know who his quarterback's going to be. But no, I think Ron Rivera and company take care of business.
Ron Rivera's not stupid. That team is loaded with talent, more so than the Cardinals. They just need Sam Howell to be competent. If Sam Howell is competent, this is easily a win. If Sam Howell starts throwing the ball all over the goddamn place, then they got a problem. Then they have a major league problem. But I don't foresee that. I think that the Commies take this home.
Can you take the championship from DNZ? This year, you can play our football pick'em on CBS Sports and compete against us in an option every week. Check the link in our Instagram bio, Fade Route Podcast, for all the details and to sign up. Then tune into the Fade Route every week until the Super Bowl for updates and standings. Bring it on.
We're into the 4 o'clock hour. The Packers go into Soldier Field to take on the Bears.
Yeah, so Dobbs and Watson, they're hurt. Their hamstrings are hurt. I think that could be a problem for Green Bay, so I'm taking Chicago.
Yeah. Even if they were healthy, I was taking the Bears. They're a more well-rounded team, and I think Justin Fields is ready to go. I mean, there's not much there. Like, you take away Jordan Love's 2 best targets, yeah, long day for the QB in Chicago. The Raiders go into the Mile High to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I think Russ is gonna have a really long year, so I'm taking Vegas.
I got one for you. Broncos win. I don't know how, but the Broncos will pull this off. It's amazing to me that the Raiders and the Broncos are equally dumpster fiery. The question is which dumpster fire is going to be more incendiary, and I think it's going to be the Raiders. So barely, just barely, the Broncos hang on. Russ doesn't screw it up that bad, and the Broncos D frustrates Jimmy G all day. The Dolphins go into SoFi to take on the Chargers.
This is actually going to be a good game. I would love to watch this game, but I'm going to take the Chargers. They're the home team. And they're gonna be releasing a new offense, so I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, but it's Kellen Moore's offense. We've seen that.
He's trash.
We'll see if he can drag Justin Herbert down to Dak Prescott's level. But I'm going with the Dolphins. There's too much expectation. They're too loaded of a team. They have to go in and dominate. And I think that they can. The only two things that are standing in their way is their quarterback and their head coach. If the quarterback can stay upright, and if the head coach can stop calling plays that get his quarterback killed, they can have major league aspirations. Dolphins set the tone 1-0. The Eagles go into Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
Yeah, it's upset special. I got the Patriots beating the Eagles.
Oh!
People aren't talking about the Patriots, man. They're still the freaking Patriots.
You know, all this talk about bottling up Jalen Hurts and, you know, Belichick can do it. And yeah, Belichick can do it. Absolutely, Belichick can do it. This team is just too good. The Eagles are just too good. Eagles fly. The Rams go into Lumen Field to take on the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is pretty easy. Seahawks, no cup, no chance.
We're in agreement again. They might have had a little bit of a chance if Cooper Kupp was there, but no. That window is shut. Shut. Geno probably doesn't even need to play that well. Shut. Your Sunday night special, the Cowboys go into MetLife to take on the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, I'm on the Dallas bandwagon. I think their defense is going to be a problem.
You know who else's defense is going to be a problem? The New York Football Giants. This is going to be a relatively low-scoring game. And I got the Giants at the gun. Graham Gano kicks the game-winning field goal. Boom.
31-10 Dallas.
Ooh, okay. Oof. All right, we'll see.
If you want to get on the action, we want to hear from you. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG @FadeRoutePodcast. Drop us a DM on Twitter @FadeRouteDNZ. Comment on our YouTube channel, The Fade Route with DNZ. Questions, comments, picks, segment suggestions, you name it, we want to hear from you. Get at us, in crowd.
And your Monday night delight, 9/11. The Bills go into MetLife to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, Jets.
Yep, it's gotta stick with the COVID, going with the Jets. They run their mouths, they've got to win.
And they won't. In typical Jets fashion, Rodgers will play great, but just good enough to lose. The Bills are going to turn it on. Look for James Cook to have a hell of a game.
Really?
Not Dalvin. Dalvin. James.
I have him on my fantasy team. You saying start him?
I would say as a flex option. Not as your RB1. Not as your RB1, but keep an eye out for those picks on Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3, which is coming.
Said the Jets are going to be the best defense of all time.
Yeah, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash. Wise man once said. But you heard it here first. In the battle of the Cook brothers, James will best Dalvin. And not because of it, not because James is better. He's actually going to be used.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.